Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we are going to talk about this month's event quest with the addition of Spider Ham, as well as the new Scarlet Witch, which will be the event quest bosses. Now, we do not have access to Scarlet Witch yet, but Spider Ham is going to be available as a champion that you can play with. Now, Spider Ham is a very goofy looking champion, and he does look as goofy as you think he might when you get into the gameplay. He definitely does look like a cartoon character that is out of place in Marvel Contest of Champions with all the other graphics that are currently in the game. Some people find it endearing and kind of like it, and it just kind of feels out of place to me, but I'm sure I will get used to it. So we actually have not only the regular side quest, which is Spider Ham frame by frame, which will allow you to complete up to Cavalier difficulty for some of those really nice rewards, including at the very end of exploration, you get a 10% tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystal. And then we have actually kind of two side quests. One of them is Spider Ham back on air. That is the side quest, and you go through several different maps of several different difficulties in this one as well, and the paths are not as long as the regular event quest. Now, the rewards for the side quest include these Mcoc shards, which are essentially exchanged or used as Cavalier crystals. So you do have a small chance at 6 stars, and from the legendary difficulty, you also get some tier 5 basic catalyst fragments, and then a tier 2 alpha crystal, some shards for the completion, more of these Mcocs, and then you can get on exploration and completion, each give a 2% of the tier 5 class catalyst crystals. So not too bad if you typically can handle the legendary difficulty stuff, and then of course more shards and a good chunk of gold from the quest, which is definitely nice to see. And then from epic difficulty, you get 500 6-star hero shards, some more tier 5 basics, some fragments for the tier 2 alpha on completion, as well as some alphas, which is always nice. And then again, for completion of the quests, some gold, which actually adds up to a reasonable amount of gold. So I'm definitely looking forward to that solid chunk of gold. But we also have the addition of the John Mulaney's Champion Challenge. Now, in the past, sometimes the side events will not require energy to do. Unfortunately, both of these side event quests do require energy. It is only 1 energy, which does make it a little bit easier, but specifically in this Champion Challenge quest, there are so many fights to complete, and there are several maps to do it. Now, it will take a lot of energy to complete, but because it's only 1, I think that each map costs about half a bar of energy, so it's not that bad as far as energy goes, but the time taken to complete the fights is ridiculous. And these are easy fights, and you can auto fight through most of them, which is nice, but the amount of time it takes is still significant. Now, you don't have to do all the fights at once, but when you go from the start, it'll allow you to go to whichever one you want. Whichever one you choose will then give you the choice of going to the boss at the end. For example, once you get to the end of a path, you can either go to the next consecutive one or jump off to the boss and finish it and save your progress. And then when you get back in, you can just resume your progress from whichever one you left off at. So that is definitely very nice. It definitely does take away from the grind of it and allows you to start with new champions again. But that does mean you do have to defeat the final boss more times. So it might get to a point where you might struggle more with defeating Spider Ham than clearing the lanes. And I haven't tried it myself, but the fights in the last map are ridiculous. And so it will definitely be a challenge, and it might be more worthwhile healing up rather than having to restart and defeat the boss multiple times, but it'll depend on your experience with that. And then you can see once you get to the end, you just kind of select over and move on to the next path, and you can run through the entire map with 1 sort of quest and defeat the boss 1 time, which is a little bit more efficient, but the amount of energy it takes to drop off and join back in really is only 2 more energy for each time you enter, which is not that significant. Now for the rewards for the John Mullany's Champion Challenge, it's actually quite nice. On completion of the entire act, you will get a large chunk of gold, and then you can get a tier 2 alpha and a tier 5 basic catalyst. On exploration, you'll get a 6-star hero crystal, a 5-star nexus, and 2 more tier 2 alphas, but that requires completion of chapter 2, or sorry, exploration of chapter 2, which is insanely challenging. The completion of chapter 2, it's only one map, and so you only have to do one path, so it might not be that difficult to do the easiest path, but to complete all of them looks incredibly challenging. They are very high health pools. The buffs are really difficult to work around, but for the chapter 1, it's not that challenging. You could likely do the whole exploration of chapter 1 with just maxed out 4 stars. It might be a bit challenging, but it is doable. So you can get all these rewards here, that nice 5-star, and then 20 of those 6 stones for 5 stars, which is always great to have. And I do like the way they set it up. The most challenging one is in its own chapter. So if you can't complete the top tier, then you can still get all the rewards for completing chapter 1. And if you struggle, but you can still get through the easiest one of chapter 2, you can still get completion rewards for the entire act, which is a very nice bonus to have that extra tier 5 and the tier 2 alpha plus the 1 million gold. So that's all I have for now for the breakdown of this month's events. I will get a little bit more detailed into, the bosses for the event quest as well as the side event quest once I really get into it. And also when I get deeper into John Mullany's challenge and find which champions I feel work best for each fight, I'll try to do an updated video on that as well. So I hope this was a helpful overview. Good luck with this month of questing, and I hope to see you in the next video.